start this, and I'm gonna start whenever because I gotta think about something to say.
That's a nice way to stall.
That is a great way to stall.
This is how we do things.
Yeah. King K with King of the Iron Fist here, and
Hats off to you.
today is our first review because wrestling happened this week, just like wrestling happens every single week.
Except we did not have time for Raw because, we had time to watch Raw, but, who has time to review it?
We watched Raw, but getting to review it was a different story, so...
Because this man has the immune system of, the fucking weakest baby.
I have not been doing good, but the good news is that I'm back, and I'm better than ever, hopefully. Maybe I'm still dying.
This cold should be called John Cena, because it's like a fucking
because it never goes away.
It's like, not only does it not go away, but every time you try to get rid of it, it kicks at it too.
Well, if it's a wall, then obviously it's not going to go away because Trump's going to win presidency.
Damn.
Just saying. But better news is that I don't have the cold anymore. My girlfriend does, so take it as you will. I'd rather her be sick than I be sick. We're here with the Impact review for the 19th of April. I think today's 20th. Yeah. I got my Beer Money t-shirt on.
It's whatever.
Because I love beer and I love money. And he's got his Impact hat.
But you're underage.
Crown of... First of all,
we've got illegal actions on YouTube right now with the King's Club. The King has been having one too many. You know what I mean?
What's serious when it's called the King's Club? Okay.
Excuse me? Who's the one wearing the crown here?
Well, you are, but...
Yeah,
that's
what I thought.
I don't have a comment for that one.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Shit.
Who's got the crown on now? That's what I thought.
Excuse me. So let's get started on this review of TNA Impact.
We're really prepared on these things. This was an okay episode. It wasn't great. It wasn't special.
Okay,
I watched it. He watched some of it.
As a fan, not exactly a fan, what my standing on TNA is that I actually used to watch a lot back in its early days. And then I stopped. And then I got back to it around 2012, which is probably the worst time to come back to. But hey, I got to enjoy Aces and Eights, enjoy with a bunch of air quotes. But then I stopped after Sting got out of the company because I was just like, well, yeah.
That was
after enduring Joker Sting and after enduring Main Event Mafia Sting, and after that bullshit finish with the contract career versus World Heavyweight Championship match.
Oh, when he fought Magnus? Oh my god.
That's when I gave up completely. I'm pretty sure all of you would understand why I would do that. I hope you understand why I quit, because that was hard to sit through.
To be fair, that was Vince Russo times.
That was
Vince Russo
Vince Russo was secretly emailing people.
Vince Russo's a cancer. If you ever want to start a wrestling company, don't follow the advice of Vince Russo.
Be warned, he is a very persuasive cancer, because somehow TNA was okay with him working behind the scenes when nobody even knew that Russo was a part of the team.
The good news is that we're in 2016 now, and Impact is getting better, which is a good thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much better it is, because I'm getting back into TNA.
He's slowly getting back into it, because this is a lifestyle right here.
Wrestling is a lifestyle. This all around us, it's a lifestyle, which is mostly TNA.
There's WWE stuff over there.
There's WWE stuff, but it's just not...
We're too lazy to set the camera angle up over there. So, side note. I will be going to the TNA tapings this Saturday, so expect some videos on that probably. If I want to take videos for you people. I don't know. Maybe I will. So,
also, every now and then, be expecting some coverage on SmackDown from me. Because, actually, I don't think I haven't, talked to you about this, but I may every now and then actually get coverage on SmackDown if it's actually important. But, it's just, it's mostly for the announcer. There's, the SmackDown announcer is, the best one they've got so far.
He's actually really good, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that's a good reason to watch.
Come on. I mean, he's not one reason, he's not a main reason to switch all the way over to watching SmackDown, but, Come on, he's actually a good announcer.
I tell you
Come
what.
on. He's got to take over Michael Cole.
I read the
I swear to
spoilers
God.
from this week's show. You're not gonna like this week's show.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that much. So, back to Impact. Impact opened up with a Knockouts ladder match for control of the company. Well, control of the Knockouts division, but company Knockouts division, same thing. It featured Velvet Sky, Rebel, Angelina Love, Jade, that's her name, Marty Bell, Gail Kim, and Maria. And this match was terrible. This match is...
No, it sounds like God tier.
It's not good.
I'm kidding.
I'll tell you, I went to this show live. This was filmed at the taping I went to, because I went to tapings last month too. And this match was edited. They took all the horrible spots out of this match, and they turned it into like a 5-minute ladder match. There was one point in the match at the live show where like Rebel tried like jumping off the ladder, and like she like completely missed Velvet Sky and like landed like flat on her head.
Ooh.
It was not good. I semi-laughed, and then I realized how hurt Rebel may be. And then I started laughing again because I'm an asshole. And, one moment happened in this match where Gail, Kim, and Maria were fighting off the ramp, and Decay suddenly comes out and just takes Gail Kim. They just straight up take her. And they carry her backstage, and she's just gone.
My thoughts on Decay later on during this review, by the way. You're going to get, like, some hard ranting with the Decay right now.
I'll tell you what.
Not right now, but, like, later on in the review, you're going to get my thoughts on them.
I'll tell you right now. I was there live for this, and honestly, I found it the funniest thing in the world because Gail Kim... I hate Gail Kim so much. You have no idea. Gail Kim, I think, is my least favorite knockout on the roster. And, like, if anyone else was in this position, I probably would have been like, wow, that's stupid. But since Gail Kim was getting carried to the back, I just started laughing. Like, wow, I hope they, like, chop her head off.
Gail Kim used to be my favorite knockout when I actually used to watch TNA back in the day, but that was only because filled with a roster of knockouts that weren't very interesting. They were pretty stale back then. And not only that, you had Gail Kim, who was actually, when she doesn't speak, it's like a Roman Reigns. She can dominate in the ring as long as she doesn't have a mic. As long as she doesn't have a mic, you're all right. And I'm pretty sure you'd have a good time watching her.
She is John Cena of the Knockouts division. She beats everybody.
It's amazing how much it's changed, really.
You have no idea. She beats every... I think every knockout on the roster she's beaten, besides Maria. She beat the Dollhouse 4-on-1.
The Dollhouse.
Remember that? The Dollhouse? Were you there for those times? I thought I would talk to you about that. It was a knockout stable where Taryn Terrell is a Barbie doll.
First of all, a knockout stable does not sound good on paper. I cannot believe what it would be like if it
It's Marty Bell and Rebel.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah. Well, Jade is somewhat involved because Jade has the theme song still, but she's like the champion now. So like they're trying to like phase her out of that.
It's like they can't afford any more like theme songs, so they keep sharing amongst each other.
Because like why?
Like Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, I sure love hearing that over and over
Well,
again.
because they're the beautiful. Well, Angelina Love wasn't in this match. Why did I say Angelina Love? Angelina Love's pregnant with the. Madison Rain is in this match. Why did I say Angelina Love?
I'm pretty sure because you'd rather watch Angelina Love
yeah,
rather than.
That's very true.
Even though Angelina Love, is the definition of a fucking Barbie doll.
Really
you look at that woman and you think.
Did you hear the rumor about
sidewalk whore in New York kind of Barbie doll? Like you just see her trying to pick up a ride and holding up a sign in like the same face that Michael Cole says when he and in the same sign that Michael Cole's holding up when it says "Stop the Pain." Instead of that, it says "We'll fuck for free."
Do you know Angelina Love is actually married to Davey Richards?
We'll fuck for free.
Did you hear the story about that one? Manic got fired because you see, Manic was like sending like text messages to one of his friends on Instagram about how he would knock up Angelina while he was married to Davey.
Holy shit, that man is... Wow.
It's the greatest story I've ever been a part of. So, end of this match, Velvet Sky's climbing the ladder, and Maria beats her up with a kendo stick, and then Maria climbs the ladder and grabs the contract, and she's in control of the Knockouts division now, which I guess is okay because it's what they were building Maria off of from the beginning anyway. So, she wants to be the head of the division so she can make it about women and not wrestlers, because that's what wrestling is. It's terrible. Don't watch this match ever. It's bad. All you have to know is that Maria's in control now. Galloway comes out, and he's injured because Lashley speared him like 3 times, and that causes injured ribs. He says that he doesn't want to get in... I don't know what I'm talking about. He wants to wrestle, but the doctors doesn't clear him to wrestle. But he never said that would stop him from fighting.
Because he's a fighting champion!
Yeah, he's a fighting Scottish champion. So, he says that he's going to fight regardless if he's cleared or not. And Rockstar Spud comes out, and Rockstar Spud, Rockstar Spud, I don't know what about last night's show it was, but this guy is on something.
He was, yeah.
I am fully convinced he was drugged up. Like,
I don't remember Spud ever, back in the day, back in the British boot camp days, I do not remember Spud ever going, like, with the fucking mic in his hands, like, cutting a promo, like...
It wasn't even that. It was like he was like breathing heavy after every word.
He was channeling his inner Joker state.
Yeah. He was like, he like would say something, he's like, you think you're smart, Drew? It's like, dude.
And his hair was going all over the place, too. Like, he was bouncing enough to where his hair was just...
Yes.
Oh.
The irony behind all of this is that we're uploading this video on 420. So it makes sense that it was. Is it?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it really is.
See what you fucking do.
I just... It's that good camera position.
God, shit. So...
Alright.
Spud comes out and he's like... He tells Drew for some reason that when Matt Hardy beats Jeff Hardy tonight, Jeff Hardy's going to be gone and all the creatures are going to be disappointed. I don't know why Spud's telling Drew Galloway this, but he is. And so, Drew tells Spud that if he doesn't get out of his ring, then he's going to fight him instead. And so, Spud goes, you weren't. You were warned.
It's like, this man is channeling in, like, his inner Looney Tune.
And then,
this man is just fucking...
That's what it sounded like. He legit sounded like Porky Pig from the Looney Tunes. Like, you have no idea. So...
the Boston creatures...
So Tyrus comes out, and Tyrus basically is like, I won Bound for Gold and Bound for Glory. And I want my title match. You're a fighting champ, Drew. No plane, no airship, no plane crash, no fire, no burning city. Nothing will stop me from challenging you next week. Do you agree to that? And Drew was like, yeah, whatever. So, we have a title match next week now between Drew Galloway and Tyrus, which should be a 5-star classic. I'm fully convinced. I went to go see the match. I can tell you it's not a 5-star classic. It's absolutely... It's better than what you expect it to be. I'll give them that much. You expect it to be complete shit. It's just shit. It's not complete shit. It's just shit.
What a ranking. All right.
So, if anything, they got negative 0.5.
It's not grade A shit.
It's not.
But it's like grand C shit.
It's not full stink shit, but it's stinky shit.
That makes no sense.
Whatever.
Like,
so
it's the kind of shit that you don't smell, but then it's like you expect the kind of shit like you ate fucking eggs for breakfast, and then later on in that day you ate something else that like makes the substance even more smelly. But like what you get is just shit that you can barely even smell.
It's the shit that you can't smell from outside the bathroom. That's what it is. It's in the bathroom, so when you watch it, you know it's going to be shit. But when you're outside of it, you're going to think, well, whatever. It didn't happen.
There we go.
Tyrus and Spud eventually start to beat up Drew Galloway because Drew Galloway tries fighting them because he's a fighting champion. And Tyrus gives him the splash on the top rope onto a chair, and this is supposed to injure Galloway's ribs more. So the storyline going into it is that Galloway's injured, and Tyrus is cashing in his title shot from Bound for Glory while Drew Galloway's injured. So smart by him. Not that bad of an idea. Three-way dance for the X Division Championship. Trevor Lee defeated DJZ and Eddie Edwards. There was a point in the match where DJZ was outside and Gregory Shane Helms clotheslines DJZ, gets him out of there. Andrew Everett runs out and he pushes Eddie Edwards off the top rope, and Trevor Lee catches Eddie with the knee and pins him for the win. And then Andrew Everett gets to the top rope and he does this flippy do shit. It's pretty cool. He rotated like 5 million
it was
times.
pretty cool. It was like a 450 splash, but an added flip, and he lands on his back.
Lands on Eddie Edwards, yeah. Looked pretty
That was
legit.
some shit I can't do.
Trevor
It's
Lee
like-
then hit DJZ with the double knees, and that pretty much wrapped that up. Backstage, Shane Helms says that the Helms Dynasty run the X Division. So basically, this is the new stable, the Helms Dynasty, as known as Omega Wrestling.
Fucking Hell's Dynasty. Do you know? Okay, let me rant on what the X Division has come to.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
remember back in the day, the X Division actually used to be a sweet alternative to a cruiserweights division. Now, I fucking laugh at it. I think it's nothing but a joke. I mean, like, the dude has got like okay, so Helms.
Yeah, let's talk
all right?
about this for a
Let's-
moment.
Let's talk about
Good
Helms.
point.
Fucking Helms and his slimy Nickelodeon Gak looking fucking
It does look
bright
like a
green,
slime all over his
bright
jacket.
neon green that will make you sick jacket. That shit is like so bright that I swear to God it'll make me blind at one point if I stare at it for way too fucking
That's
long.
so true.
And this man is on for too long on TV. That is saying enough, but like him developing this stupid little dynasty, like it not only makes no sense with the people that are actually collecting around him for this little dynasty for the X Division, but it's also another story like Aces and Eights where it's just who is there to face when this dynasty is formed, because there's not many people on the X
That's very
Division
true,
right
actually.
now.
Well, you see, the storyline is that he says he's rebuilding the X Division, and that's what he's gonna do with all these people. But I get your point, because if he's building up all these people, there's gonna be nobody else left to fight.
There's not many people to go
Yeah,
up against.
that
If
actually
there's
really does
art,
make a good
like
point.
they're starting off with so many people
Good
on this
argument.
dynasty.
Yeah.
Who is there gonna be to face other than fucking Eddie Edwards? That's
And
just
DJZ.
standing there already injured. Like is he gonna face them again next week?
I wonder where Tigre
Is there
Uno
gonna be
went.
somewhere maybe Tigre Uno can come back, but that still doesn't mean that there's gonna be enough to feed this dynasty.
Maybe Trump got to
Not
him.
unless they pull like some ape shit where like fucking the dynasty starts to turn on itself and starts to collapse
Well,
in on itself.
Come on, dude. That's obviously what's gonna happen.
It's obviously gonna
It
happen.
always happens.
It's obviously gonna happen, but it's gonna happen
Hey.
too soon because there's not enough people for this dynasty to face.
If anything, I'll be happy if Andrew Everett walks out as champion. Andrew Everett is cool as shit. No lie. Even though he has no character, work on that. Give him a character. I don't know what character you want to give him, but give him one. Just do that. That's my one thing about all these X Division guys. I think DJZ is the only one with a real character. Well, Eddie Edwards, he's the wolf, but whatever.
You gotta remember the character of whatever the fuck with the wolves.
Davey Richards are out.
Howl.
So, Davey Richards was banging Angelina so hard that hurt himself. Eric
So
Young.
many people are getting injured, and then this guy makes an injured joke of like fucking someone.
I
But okay.
mean, he's been out for how many months now? I don't know. But Eric Young comes out with Bram, complains about how he hates everyone, he hates everyone backstage, and how he's God, and he's the king of the mountain because he's the king of the mountain champion.
Okay, let me say just one
You want
thing
to rant about this
let
championship
me
belt?
let me just say one thing about EY and then another thing about this King of the Mountain
Okay,
championship.
go.
Okay, for one thing, I swear to God, I'm so done with Eric Young at this point because like I watched Eric Young back then because he's been with the company for God knows how long, but it's gotten to the point where I just can't. I am so sorry about that, but
That's the
my
best
phone.
ringtone ever.
That's the best ringtone. Come on, playing
It's
fucking
so beautiful. Every
Yeah.
time it happens, it just brings joy to my
PlayStation
heart.
trophies for the win. But
It really
like,
does.
but like, EY's voice is just. I can't stand it. I can't stand whenever this man gives a promo, and I don't like to be that type of guy that just can't listen to a promo for the simple fact of a person's voice. But like this guy sounds
Yeah.
like he's on the verge of death because smoking. I don't know. He
will-
just sounds like a smoker that has cancer on top of it, and he's just on his deathbed. That's what he sounds like. He sounds like he's on his deathbed.
I will say, you joined at a late time. Because, honestly, he's gotten worse. Like, it was better last year. Like, last year, it was actually good, and, like, he was legit sounded like a maniac. And he was actually, like, good sounding and good looking and good, like, talking. But now, like, I don't know what happened. But coming into this year, now he just, like, overplays it. To a point where it's, like, unbelievable.
I think he's taking notes from Decay, which is
I'm-
kind of the wrong thing.
Well, Decay is supposed to be, like, psychotic and crazy.
Well, we'll get to the
EY
decay.
is too, but
we'll
whatever.
get to the decay.
Yeah, we got
but
that.
the King of the Mountain Championship.
Yeah, I read about that.
Okay. Oh,
While I
fucking.
read this.
Oh, what? Okay, so this belt has been passed on and given many different names. It's the same damn belt as the television belt. It's the same damn belt. It's like, it's been given different names, but it's the same belt, and you clearly see that. It's like thrown away whenever it's not needed. It's just thrown away in like clearance aisle.
I would
Like
prefer
blue
to do
pants.
that.
It's just thrown away in the clearance aisle.
You say like blue pants?
Like fucking blue pants.
Do you know she's on the Knockouts pay-per-view?
Oh, I saw that.
Okay, I just wanted to let you
I
know.
know that.
Leather Bates there, John.
I think it's better that she was blue pants, to be quite honest, because I really can't like.
I don't remember who she wrestled. I heard she had the worst match on the show.
That's a
what I
sign. That's a sign.
That's what I heard.
Fucking blue pants, and she comes over to a different company, and oh, here it goes. Everybody's saying that she had a shit match.
Eric Young complains about TNA officials that how they're catering to has-beens like Jeff Hardy and sucking up to punks like EC3 and Scottish punks like Drew Galloway. And he says, this will be the last time we see him and Bram in the ring. And he says he's leaving with the championship. And then he says, I quit, and we quit. And then he walks out. But then Bram stays in the ring. And EY's like, what are you doing? And so the crowd starts singing the goodbye song. And EY's like, shut up, you pigs!
Na, 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 na,
Hey,
goodbye. Anyway, go on.
So Bram tells EY that he's not leaving, and EY was like, "What did you say?"
Yeah, this guy is just this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. The guy circles around Bram and he's like, What did you
He sounds
say?"
like he's been battling like lung cancer for
He
like
sounds
60
like-
years.
He sounds like that one like fucking old lady from
Yes.
SpongeBob in that chocolate
Oh
episode.
my god!
Where she sounds like, what? What did he say? What did he say? I want a picture of
No.
fucking EY like right here, and then like a picture of the lady that I'm talking about right there.
I just want someone to Photoshop like EY's face onto the.
I'll do that.
Please do. Then do it while like EY's like screaming. Like don't do it with like a
Oh.
closed face. Just do it like.
just a face like a Triple H like face where he's just
Yeah, like
just screaming.
Please do. That'd be great, actually. So, gets to the point where Bram says that if EY wants to leave, he can, but he doesn't want him taking the title belt with him because it looks rather heavy. So, they start fighting, and EY eventually pile drives him in the middle of the ring, and he's like, "You think you're good? You think you're good, Bram? You're a loser! You're a loser, Bram!" And so, EY then takes scissors from the girl at ringside because she has those on her little utility belt thing. I don't know why, but she does. And so, EY takes the scissors and he cuts off Bram's beard because he
To
says...
cut the cord off a camera because no
Yeah.
one gives a shit about this show. They're just one camera down, the rest of the round to go. You know what I mean?
The storyline is that they were called the Bearded Terrors by the Pope, and him cutting the beard off was like a signature, like, "Oh, I'm the only bearded terror in the company. You're nothing, Bram."
Daniel Bryan, the Wyatt family. Oh, fucking.
Well, because
come on.
they're all faces now. EY's the only heel with a beard.
Wait,
I
the heel with the
I could
beard?
probably be really wrong
My
about
point
that.
still stands. The Wyatts.
No, the Wyatts are faces now.
The Wyatts are not face.
Yes, they are. They teamed up with Roman Reigns. What are you talking about?
Mm,
You're losing it. They're injured anyway. Don't worry about it.
WWE's losing it. Let me tell you.
So we go from a promo to another promo because Impact, and it's called Mike Bennett.
It's open mic night on the night that I decide to come back to watching Impact, which is the worst fucking.
They got rid of Open Fight Night and renamed it Open,
Open
Mic
Mic
Night.
It's open mic night for TNA.
So
What
Mike
a
Bennett
gift I've
comes
been
out,
given.
and he says it's fairy tale time with Mike Bennett. Get it? Because it's supposed to be story time with Adam Cole.
Honestly, this would have been an A show if I saw my boy Shark Boy come back.
Well, I didn't write that down.
My boy Shark Boy.
Eli Drake had a promo, and I'll get to it actually. It's somewhere down here. But so Mike Bennett comes out, and fairy tale time with Mike Bennett, and he basically says that EC3 has been a thorn in his side, and how, if I can find it, he claims that he conquered EC3 last week, even though he only beat him by disqualification, because that means that he conquered him there. And so
getting getting the shit beaten out of you with a chair getting disqualified, you getting a victory via disqualification
Yeah.
means I've taken over the kingdom. I beat the prince. Like, what the fuck?
So EC3 thinks that, like, well, Mike Bennett thinks that, like, he's, like, the new face of wrestling ever since he beat EC3, but then EC3 comes out, and he's like, Mike Bennett, you did not beat me by pinfall or submission. You beat me by disqualification. That does not make you a man. That makes you a coward. Which is very true. Good point by EC3. So, he mentions Mike Bennett's shoes. Mike Bennett has, like, these gold-ass, like, foil shoes. And they look like Kofi's, like, wing 12s that he had, like, a couple months
They look
ago.
like this fake-ass plastic
Yes,
crown.
they look exactly like that crown. And so, loudly in the crowd, someone just shouts, "What are those?" And I just
my
found
God.
it so funny for some reason. I don't know why. So, they go back and forth for a while. And it eventually goes to the point where EC3 says, if you want to face me, Mike Bennett, you face me in a no disqualification match next week at Sacrifice. Because next week is Sacrifice all of a sudden. Why? Who knows why? It just happened. And he's like, no disqualification.
It's like Payback getting switched with Extreme Rules.
No
It's just you don't
disqualification.
expect this shit.
Not so I can beat you up with weapons, or so I can brutally annihilate you. Annihilate? Annihilate. That's the word I'm looking for. You with weapons until you can't breathe, but so there will be a fair winner among us, which I don't have a problem with. That's actually a good reasoning for... It's a good reasoning to have a no DQ match that doesn't get weapons involved. Even though it will get weapons involved, so it won't matter, but regardless. So, they set that no DQ match up for Sacrifice, and Mike Bennett basically says that he's going to be the new face of the company, and EC3 says it's going to take everything Mike Bennett has to beat him, basically. This is a good promo. Not going to lie. This is probably the best promo of the night. Al Snow is wrestling, and he fought Mahabali Shera on this great show. Now, I will tell you, I did not let you watch Al Snow's promo. I'm going to try to cheer him up. Hold on. Okay, so Al Snow had a promo. I will say, as much as Al Snow is over the age of 50 and he should not be in the ring wrestling, the gimmick they've given him is good. It's good. It's a good gimmick. He came out and he said that the fans are basically sheep because on the internet they'll complain about Al Snow and they'll boo him when really they're not in the ring wrestling. He's in the ring wrestling, which makes sense because that's what the internet fan base is. It's like, oh, what? You're not a good wrestler. And he was like, you want to say I'm not a good wrestler? Why don't you get in this ring and fucking prove it to me? That's it. For this day and age, it's a good character. Now,
I mean, it makes sense.
should it be associated with Al Snow? No, it should not. Al Snow should not be in that ring wrestling. He fought Mahabali Shera, and let me tell you, Al Snow and Mahabali Shera...
First of all, who the hell is this, like, bootleg Rashid from Street Fighter? Fucking... and then, like... and then, like, this man and what he does in the ring is just weirder than Hornswoggle. If Hornswoggle had a baby with Kali... By the way, you told me that, like, he was approved by Kali.
Yeah, Kali was the one that chose Mahabali Shera. TNA officials got the great Kali to choose a new Indian wrestler for them, and he approved of Mahabali Shera. Yes.
Impact. Best. Grade A wrestling. 5 star.
So, they have a pretty bad match. The sad thing is, this is the second longest match on the show. This match went on, honestly, forever, and it was not good. You can see Mahabali Shera's improving, if anything. It's still not good. The people are not into that anymore, whatever that's supposed to be.
That's supposed to be the next Fandango dance.
Yeah, that's the dance craze or whatever.
That's supposed to be like the next dance craze. He's trying to take it up from Fandango, even though when Fandango did it, it was charming. Whenever he's doing whatever the fuck this is, who the fuck does that, first of all? Second of all, how are you going to make that look in any sense charming? Third of all, the man who's doing it is not visually appealing in any way.
Brian Alvarez speculates that it's a form of manipulation. It's a hypnotation method. And I think he's onto something with it. I'm not positive, but I think he's onto something. So,
That's like the Darth Jar Jar theory.
Al Snow eventually beats Mahabali Shira with, as Josh Matthews describes it, a taped up weapon of sorts from his tights.
Oh, that was the... Josh Matthews is the best fucking commentator ever. I say that very, very lightly. Take that with the smallest grain of salt.
I watched this show twice to try to see what this weapon was. It was tape. That's all I was able to see. So I was like, what am I supposed to call this? But Josh Matthews had me covered with this taped up weapon of sorts that came from his tights. That's what we're describing it as. That can be defined as many things, especially from Al Snow. But all you have to know...
Which, by the way, Al Snow, when he did this, wasn't very sneaky about it at all.
No, really, he wasn't.
He brought it out, and he was just showing the crowd, like, in a very dazed manner. He was just like, oh, what I got. Then he turns around, socks him in the face, and then turns back around to do, like, a sort of cartoony effect where he pulls his tights up and then drops it in his tights.
Meanwhile, Earl Hebner was distracted the whole time because that's how wrestling works. Backstage, Eli Drake said that he was going to expose all the dummies next week in his talk show called The Fact of Life.
The Fact of Life, Jesus.
That's what the talk show is called. I'll tell you right now, I saw this talk show. It's one of the greatest things TNA's probably done yet.
I don't know whether to take you seriously.
No, I'm being so... I wish I would have gotten a video of it. Like, if I had my new phone, I would have gotten a video of it. It was beautiful. It involved the bromance and Eli Drake, and it was good. That's all you have to know. Decay brings out Gail Kim, and Rosemary basically says that they want a tag team title shot against Beer Money, and they're going to cut Gail Kim's head off if they don't get it. So they call Beer Money out, and Beer Money comes out, and James Storm is like, let her go, and then Bobby Roode's like, she has nothing to do with this, let her go, this is between us here. And so Abyss starts talking, because Abyss is the head leader of this group, and he's like, we want the tag team championships, give us the match, and we let her go. And so they were like, you could have just came and asked us that, but we'll give you a match. And so they were like, okay. And then Crazy Steve pulled Abyss aside, and he was like, oh, and one more thing. We want it to be a Valley of Shadows match.
Which, by the way, I never knew what a Valley of Shadows match was.
It's a first time ever match. It's a Monsters Ball match, okay? It's a Monsters Ball match with a different name. And so they agreed to it, and they let Gail Kim go. And Rosemary basically says that only Decay will survive the Valley of Shadows match. Now, I don't have a problem with Decay. He does. I don't have a problem with them. I really don't.
TNA?
So, would you like to explain your problem with Decay?
Listen up. Look at my ear. Listen up, alright? What was your idea with the Decay, alright? Was it Suicide Squad? Was it fucking Suicide Squad?
Actually,
just have everybody have face paint on it?
To be fair,
like, I don't understand.
To be fair, Josh Matthews calls them the Suicide Squad weekly. So, obviously, it was their idea behind it.
Okay, but like, that doesn't excuse how shit this is.
It doesn't excuse it, no.
It doesn't excuse how shit this is. Because, I mean, the Decay, they have a clear character. At the very least, they got that going for them.
Good for them,
At least they have
actually.
good for them. Thumbs up. But their character is shit, even though it's established. Even though the character is defined, that doesn't mean it's a very sound definition.
Once again, Kenneth, you joined at the wrong time because it was way better back in the early...
It might have been way better, but like that doesn't
better.
excuse the fact that it's just going to complete shit tier now.
They've gone insane at this point.
Like, they go overboard with it. It's like what you say with EY at this point. They're going way too overboard with it. And Gail Kim acting is just even more shit than Brie Bella. Like, the screams she made were like kindergarten forced. They were like kindergarten playground screams. Not kindergarten playground, but like kindergarten play screams.
Let me go!
Like,
let me go!
It's the worst, like...
Help me!
It's the worst, like, definition of damsel in distress.
That's so hard to get.
It was, like, it was painful to sit through, honestly. Like, I come in here being convinced that Decay was at least decent, but looking at this segment... I'm not seeing anything that's entertaining. I'm not seeing anything that's entertaining. What I'm seeing is cringeworthy, at the very least.
When you see the Valley of Shadows match next week, You'll agree they have wrestling skill. Hardcore wrestling skill.
I have no doubt
You'll
that
agree with that.
I have no doubt that they have wrestling skills. I mean, I look at them and I'm like, hey, they look
That's
like
what
they
makes
could be
them
decent
decent.
wrestlers. At the
That's
very
what makes
least,
them good decent.
at the very least, they have the
Yes.
look of a wrestler. But even though they look stupid with fucking like Joker makeup on, and at that, they all look like they're about to have like this fucking religious cult meeting. But like, it's just even the name Decay doesn't even really
Decay.
decay. Yeah.
Decay. So,
I don't see any entertainment in it.
hey, Smarks love it.
Too bad.
I'll tell you that much. Smarks love this idea. So, main event, Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy in the I Quit match. This match was brutal. It actually got TMZ coverage earlier in the day by TMZ Sports. I sent you the video. And it's
TMZ.
Jeff Hardy basically...
TMZ is the scum of the earth.
It's Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy on face calls, but they're on like different screens in different areas, and they're like debating with each other through like TMZ Sports. And Jeff Hardy's like, "I don't want your witch bitch wife, Matt, to ruin our family."
Oh!
And it's like Rose City by Jeff Hardy up in here. And Matt Hardy was just like, Matt Hardy being a little bitchy he is, he's like, hey, don't call her that. You don't have the right to call her that. And I found it pretty funny for what it was. If anything, it made this feud seem more serious.
I mean, yeah.
It made it seem like these two absolutely despised each other.
Well, at the very least, like, the Hardy Boys got that going for them.
Yes.
They at least know when to, like, act and, like, make it seem, like, very personal. Very personal there.
Very personal there, John.
But, like, it's... Like, at least the Hardy Boys have that going for them, because when it comes to most tag team rivalries, they don't really seem to hit it off very well. Like, they either overdo it, or they either don't make it look good enough.
The last tag team rivalry I remember is Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil at Elimination Chamber 2014.
That wasn't good enough. That's an example of what was not good enough.
You know what the sad thing is?
Overdoing it is an example of the Bella twins.
Okay,
rivalry.
yes, well, that too, actually.
I wish you died in the womb!
I totally forgot about that one. The good thing I did forget about that one, I guess. These two, there was the spot where Jeff had a steel chair, and he, like, slid off the rail of the staircase and hit Matt Hardy in the face with it. I found that pretty cool. Matt Hardy did a side effect onto the barricade.
I found that actually pretty
looking.
cool, yeah. Like, around the end of this match is, I'm pretty sure, when it starts to pick up.
When they went to the back
actually
area,
start throwing, like,
that's
they
when they
actually
got-
start
yeah.
throwing each other through shit, so.
yeah. Jeff is choking Matt out on, like, this table, and he chokes him out to the point where Matt passes out, and so the ref is like, he's out, Jeff. He's out. What do you want me to do? And so Jeff grabs the microphone. He's like, this match is not over until he says I quit. Which at that point, Matt Hardy should have been the winner because Jeff Hardy legit just said the word I quit. But TNA logic.
Come on, don't be silly like that.
I mean, if I want to...
I mean, the match should have ended anyway, because feigning and being knocked out is just supposed to symbol the bell anyway.
No, but trust, I'm getting to that point in a minute. But, so, then Jeff, he's starting to climb up the ladder because he's going to jump off the ladder to the table to Matt. But then he decides the ladder's not good enough, and he jumps off of the ladder, and he climbs up that staircase, and he goes like 35 feet up in the air, and he does a swanton from up top of the staircase to Matt Hardy, which...
Best thing in the entire night, by the
we're
way.
either going to edit it into the video, or we're going to leave a link in the description, probably a link in the description, of... I was there to see that, and I got a video of it on YouTube, and I have already posted it. It's not on my phone anymore, so it's just posted. So I'll probably put a link to it in the description. You can check that out, because it was a pretty sick jump. And they have Matt Hardy get stretchered out of the arena, and the show just fades to black from there. So, my one complaint about all of this. Jeff Hardy said the match is not over until Matt says I quit. Does the swanton, and then it just ends.
It ends with, like, no decisive winner.
Nobody won.
No, nobody was claimed the winner. Nobody was claimed the loser. It's just left you with no answers.
Now, here's my speculation behind it. My speculation is that Matt Hardy was supposed to win this match. Because you see the promo they cut for it? It was supposed to be like the loser lost to Hardy name. So, they were doing backstage things of like Willow coming back for a couple weeks against EY, but then EY was leaving the company. So I think they shot this to try to make it a no way out clause. To like avoid the stipulation they tried setting up. Honestly, I don't know why they just didn't make Jeff win.
It's weird.
That would have been a better outing than just having no finish, but because then
sounds...
Matt Hardy would have lost the name. Well, no, because they didn't even have to say that was a stipulation. Because they didn't say it was a stipulation this time. I don't know. That's my theory on why they did that, but it's like, still, you could have at least had Jeff Hardy win. Do that thing when Backlash 2009, when Jeff was about to jump off the top rope, and Matt was like, I'm sorry, I'm a loser,
Go watch that match. That match is way better.
I quit.
That match is actually way better.
I enjoyed the Impact match way more than I enjoyed Backlash.
I enjoyed the Backlash.
I don't know. I think the brutality in the Impact match was more obvious than the Backlash match.
I will admit that much, but at least there was coherence in Backlash.
Yeah, of course. Well, that was 2009 WWE booking. They had a sense of what they were doing back then. Overall, it was a okay show. It wasn't like anything I'm gonna look back on other than the Jeff Hardy jump. But like other than that, it's like decent wrestling and okay promos, setting up for matches next week. Next week's Sacrifice, we get Drew Galloway, Tyrus for the world title, EC3 Mike Bennett, must be a winner, EY Bram, and then there was another Decay and Beer Money in the Valley of Shadows. So at least they built up Sacrifice, if anything. Sacrifice looks to be a good show next week.
Even though it all seems to be in like a bit of a clutter build-up. There's like no real exact, like there's no exact build-up, but at the very least they have something to go for.
The one thing you're going to find out about TNA now is now that they only have 2 pay-per-views, they rush like all these feuds. Like Mike Bennett and EC3 started at these tapings and it's ending, I think, at these tapings. Maybe it won't start again at the next tapings, but I don't know. But yeah, that was Impact. Impact was okay. I would rather sit through an episode of Impact than sit through Raw.
I would rather sit through an episode of Raw than Impact.
Okay.
After, like, Impact has just not left much of a good impression on me after coming back to it.
After watching Raw, I much rather not.
Raw is boring, but Impact is cringy.
Who are you to talk? You want to do SmackDown reviews.
I'm saying when it's important, and at least I got something going for me with SmackDown. At least I got people I want to see wrestle with SmackDown.
Fair game.
At least I got what I want to see. At least I got Kevin Owens to look forward to. At least I got people.
Who does Kevin Owens
like
wrestle this week?
It doesn't matter. I mean, like at least I got people that I want to see, and I'm eager to see wrestle. I'm not
Actually,
eager,
I don't remember
I'm
Kevin
not
Owens
eager to
wrestling.
see. I'm not eager to see Tyrus wrestle. I'm not eager to see Drew Galloway wrestle.
Tyrus
Say what you want about Drew Galloway.
Terrible.
I actually miss him back in his Drew McIntyre days. But not the 3MB.
Dude,
times,
we gotta get you back into this. Drew Galloway is way better than Drew McIntyre is.
I miss the days of the Chosen One, but
it's whatever. We don't know how we're gonna end these videos yet. We need some kind of catchphrase.
We may not have a catchphrase, but we at least still hold the title of king. That was Impact. We'll see you next time.